Hey guys, Sarah Sampson here, FarmasiUSA, beauty influencer and leader of Team Glitz Mavens. I did this group that, let me get the word out. I did this training on consistency already. In fact, it's up on YouTube and it was also in the Beauty Mavens group. But I felt like it was an important enough message that it really needed to be resaid here personally versus me just sharing it. Also, I felt it would be easier for you to find if I just redid the whole thing. Also, you know, it always comes out differently 2 times and it doesn't always come out the same. So I'm hoping that I'm able to bring you value and even bring like extra value through this training for you. And we're going to kickstart a series on consistency. So what's going to happen is I'm going to redo this training with you here in this page here over in the Glitz Mavens team page. And I am going to upload this to YouTube as well. But I'm going to redo this here. And then next week, I'm going to do another training on consistency. And all it's going to consist of are the different steps to becoming more consistent in 2021. The different steps you can take to being more consistent one at a time. And we're going to break it down a step at a time. We're going to take it a week at a time. And we're going to build up our consistency here in 2021. We're going to have a fantastic year. I 100% believe that. And we are going to do what it takes to make this business work. And the reality is how we work our business may be different, but what's not going to be different is that in order to make what we do to make this business work, actually work, we're going to have to be consistent. So let's dive right in. First things first, what is consistency? What is it? You know, we talk about being consistent all the time, and we have this preconceived idea that it's just doing certain things every day. But the reality is consistency is far more than just going through the motions. Consistency is a firmness of constitution or character. And in its most simplistic manner, in its most simplistic form, it's actually persistence. And how persistence is defined is to go on resolutely or stubbornly in spite of opposition, importunity, or warning. It's standing your ground no matter what. It means whether you're having a bad week, whether you feel like it, whether you feel motivated, whether you're sick, whether you're, something's going on with your family, you're on vacation, an emergency pops up. No matter what happens, no matter what obstacles come your way, you're going to keep working your business. You're going to stand your ground. You're going to do what you need to do to make this business work. And I'm not saying you don't take time to be with your family during those times. If you have a death in your family, of course you're going to stop what you're doing for a minute and go to the funeral. But you might share that with your network. Let people get to know you. It's not just about the products. It's not just about the pharmacy products. It's not just about the pharmacy company or whatever company that you are with. It is not about that. It's not who you're affiliating with. It's you. Nobody cares what product you carry if nobody cares about you. Nobody. And that's going to be really key in 2021. We want people to get to know us. So yes, we're going to be sharing the products we love. Yes, we're going to be sharing, whoever we affiliate with, pharmacy, we're going to share those things the same way we always have. Let's be clear, like I have always shared the products that I love. I used to blog about the products that I love. That's how much I used to affiliate. The only reason I don't now is it's not where my heart was leading me. It's not what I wanted in my life. It's just something that kind of fell on me at that time in my life. And I enjoyed it at the time. And it led me to being open to network marketing because they're so similar. But what we're going to do is we're going to do those things. We're going to share all year round, of course. But we're also going to open up about who we are. For instance, it took a lot of bravery for me to share my hoarding mess. It turned into chronicles. Like, it's crazy. But it took a lot of bravery for me to share that because that for me, it was embarrassing. It was hard for me to show people like I'm human. I collect things and I'm not just like a collector of things. I'm a collector of things. Like I save all the boxes. I keep all the books. I have clothes that fit me before I ever had kids, and I have clothes that fit me when I was bigger than I am now, and I don't get rid of anything because what if I get fatter? What if I get skinnier? What if? And I keep. And it was an emotional response. And it's funny because I've been learning there's a lot of connection between how we eat, how we carry ourselves, our confidence, and also keeping things. And it's all tied to our mental state, to our emotions, and to where we are in our life in that space. But it was really hard for me to share. So we're going to be brave, and we're going to start sharing our lives, whether we're talking about our kids, whether we're sharing something going on in our relationship. And I'm not saying you have to like put your whole life out there. You're in control of what you share with people, right? I was in control of what I shared with people when it came to my hoarding. I didn't necessarily get into the emotional reasons of why I keep all my stuff, okay? But I shared the experience of working through that, how I felt, and getting rid of those things and allowing that baggage to be gone. And I'm telling you, I have never had so many kitchen counters, and I'm excited. And like I shared that with people. They don't necessarily understand the weight of it. They may not understand everything, but it allowed them to see a little bit of my personality outside of pharmacy, outside of being a network marketer. And now people are open a little bit more to me because I showed them my human side. I showed them I'm human like everyone else. And I was able to connect with people who are dealing with the same issues as me. So while, yes, we're going to be sharing our products, we're also going to be consistently sharing ourselves. It's not just about the affiliations. It's not just about the company. It's us. Like I said, nobody cares what we have if they don't care about us. They're not going to care what products we're selling if they don't care about us, okay? So we're going to offer value. We're going to associate with people. We're going to show them our human side. We're going to share with our lives with them to an extent. Obviously, like I said, you're in control of what you share with people. If something's uncomfortable for you and you're not ready to share it, that's fine. There are plenty of things in my life I'm not willing to share right now. And you know, it even took me a week. I had been working on my house for a week before I actually broke down, and I showed them that my hallway was filled from one room in my house. It was very vulnerable for me. So even if you have to work yourself into that, that's fine. But, you know, it's just, yeah, I don't even know how I got on that at this point. But like, consistency, standing your ground in spite of anything that's going on. You're going to stand your ground, and you are going to do what it takes to move your business forward in 2021. You are going to persist. You are going to be that stubborn freaking person that maybe other people don't understand, but you know what you're doing, and you know where you're going to get because you're doing it, okay? You know where you're going. And you're not going to let something or someone derail you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you didn't reach your goals this month. Forget about the goals, okay? I want you to know, like, have those goals. They're great. They're important. I have goals. Do you think I've met my goals every month? Absolutely not. I am in my 10th month here at Pharmacy, and actually this month has probably been the worst for me in several, but I'm not letting that dictate my future. Stop focusing on those goals. Have them where you can see them, but instead of focusing on those goals, let's focus on what it takes to be consistent, to move our business forward, and the things that we need to be doing on the daily, not just when we feel like it, standing our ground, stubbornly daily doing those things that are going to move us forward. Okay. I know I'm a little on fire. I didn't even know if I was going to share this in this group only because I had already done it, but it's something that's been weighing on me because it's not just one or two of us. It's all of us. All of us deal with this stuff. Every single one of us, from the bottom of the totem pole to, I'm sure Amaray and Sanan have days where they don't feel like they want to get up and go to work, but they still do, right? It's everyone. Everyone has those days. It's not the obstacles that define us. It's what we do with them. Okay. So if we're consistent, what are we doing with those obstacles? And we're going to talk in a minute of how consistency kind of shows itself. But, you know, how powerful, how incredible is it that consistency at its core actually means to be stubborn in spite of anything else going on, whether you have warning, whether whether other people think what you're being stubborn about and consistent with is important, whether or not some sort of obstacle comes your way or opposition comes your way. There's always going to be someone out there who wants to hate on you. I'm going to put that right out there right now. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a complete stranger, but there's always going to be someone. And if you allow that to stop you from being consistent, then you're never going to reach those goals you so want to. And like I said, it's less about the goals and more about the action. If you're not taking action, it doesn't matter what your goals are. So we're going to take consistent action here in 2021. So that's what consistency is. And what we're going to do over the next several weeks is I'm going to break down what I'm about to go over with you guys into week increments. And every week we're going to work on a new, like the next activity that's going to help us maintain our consistency throughout this year. We're going to focus on consistency. And I said that before we ever started 2021, and I meant it. And I'm actually like kicking myself for not doing this this training sooner. For some reason, I had my mindset on YouTube, and yes, I'm going to still cover that. However, this is a big thing. Because in your business, if you have a YouTube, but you're inconsistent, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter what social media you're on if you're not showing up consistently, because people get to know you. And if you're not showing up consistently and someone else is, that someone else is going to get those people that you're talking to, because they're the ones showing up. They're the ones that are in their face. They're the ones they're seeing in the space. Okay. So why does consistency matter? Consistency or lack of consistency can and will be, hey Danny, the defining factor between your failure and your success. Whether you're trying to lose weight, run a business, whatever it is you're trying to do, consistency is going to be the make it or break it of whether you fail or succeed. Okay. So I kind of wrote this down in this way. So children, some of us have kids. With children, they need consistency, right? They need consistency to learn appropriate behavior. They need consistency to learn values. They need to learn, what's between right and wrong. If we're inconsistent, if we tell them this is wrong and then turn around and do it, it's inconsistent. They get confused. And then really what ends up happening is they do what we do, not what we say. There's that saying, do as I say, not as I do. But what kids need and what we need in our business even is to do and say exactly the same thing. So it's the same way in business. So whether you have a team or not, if you have a team, what's going to happen is if you're telling someone something and you're not doing it and they see you're not doing it, they're not going to do it, right? If you say that you are in this business and you're not treating it as a hobby and it's your full-time business and you want this to work and you're doing whatever it takes, people on your social media are going to expect to see you showing up daily, doing exactly what you say, not treating it as a hobby, but treating it as a business. And are there going to be days where you do more or less? Yes. Are there going to be days where they don't necessarily see the activities you're doing? Of course. But they're going to consistently see you enough doing those activities that they're going to know she means it. She's taking this business seriously. She means what she says. And the more you say something and the more you act on what you say, the more people are going to trust you and believe what you're saying. I can say I love pharmacy and they've changed my life in a million different ways, but if I don't act on that and show people that it's true, they're not going to believe me. They're going to be like, oh yeah, you're just the next person who's drinking the water and saying whatever it takes to win me over. When in reality, I truly believe that. But nobody knows that if I'm not showing up and showing them and telling them and saying it consistently and acting on it consistently. They're not going to know that. And, like I said in one of my posts this morning, obviously they're not going to see everything that goes on in my business. It's not just putting on makeup and, taking selfies all day. I wish it was. I mean, did I just do that? Sure, it's part of my job. It's the fun part. I enjoy playing in makeup and going live and taking selfies, whatever. But that's not everything that it involves. And people don't always see that. But sometimes showing people, hey, look, this is how my morning starts. It's not pretty. It's not fun. I have to make plans. I have to, go through my entire schedule. I have to read a book. I used to actually love to read, but now with like limited time, it's not as enjoyable to me. I'm not reading for fun anymore. I'm reading to learn. It's like going back to school, which, whatever. But it's not always fun, and people see the fun stuff, right? They see us going live. They see us taking selfies. They see us playing in the makeup, but they don't necessarily see everything else that comes into it as well. But just because they don't see it doesn't mean we stop doing it. Okay. But yeah, so it's the same way as kids need that consistency. So do our customers. So does our network. So do our followers and our team members as well. Yeah. So it's basically this. People pay as much attention. There we go. Tension. As much attention, if not more attention, to your actions as to what you say. They pay as much, if not more, attention to what you do as to what you say. Okay? So here are some things that consistency builds for you. This is why it's so important. Consistency builds trust. Consistency makes you predictable. Maybe you don't show it up at the same time, at the same day, all that, but you're predictable. People know you're going to show up. They know to look for you. And, if you're like me, you don't necessarily have a set schedule of when you go live, but you go live. They know I'm going to be there. Okay. They know I'm going to show up. And, there's ways around that inconsistent time schedule to help people catch with you more often. But often it's more the action you're taking versus the time you're doing it. Okay. And, it still helps you be predictable. It creates personal responsibility. It holds you accountable. When you're being consistent, you are forced to take responsibility for your actions and be held accountable for your actions. And people, because they start to see what you're doing, if you stop working, they're going to see it and they're going to be like, girl, you told me that this was your full-time job, that you wanted to make money with this and you wanted it to work, but you're not showing up. And that is where consistency comes in. They're going to see you working consistently. And they're going to, personal responsibility. They're going to hold you accountable. And we're going to talk about accountability in a few minutes. Hey, Rachel. Hi. I'm just kind of redoing the training I did in the Mavens group a little bit, but it's kind of tweaked a little bit because situations have changed and it's a different group. But, it builds your personal brand and reputation. When you follow through on your promises and you show up to your business daily, people are going to catch that. They're going to learn to trust you. They're going to learn that you're going to build a reputation as whatever it is you represent yourself as. I want to empower women to feel confident in themselves, and yet I wasn't being confident in myself. And people were picking up on that. I got comments on that a lot. But then when I was willing to open up about my personal life and my hoarding issues and take responsibility. I don't know if you've noticed, but from the very beginning of that process of me vlogging, basically that process to the end, my confidence changed. So I started off really embarrassed. I wanted to cry. I was embarrassed, so embarrassed. But by the end of it, something clicked. I was more confident in my abilities because I'd done it. I was more confident in myself because it didn't matter at that point what people thought. I did it for me. I didn't clean my house for everybody else. I cleaned it for me. I shared the experience for everyone else. I shared the experience because after that first video and all of the comments, it clicked with me. People need to see me be me, and they need to see what I'm struggling with and what I'm doing well with and everything in between. But there were other people out there struggling with the same thing, and I was robbing them by not sharing that experience with them because they were, it left people feeling, if I hadn't shared that experience, I know it would have left people feeling alone in their situation. And I've been able to help so many women in my messages and in my, just in general, friends and family as well, with the same situation. And I had no idea they were struggling with the same thing. So that's why it's really important to not just share the business, but
People care about you. And again, if they don't know you, they don't care about you, they're not going to care what you have. They don't. It's just, they don't. Okay. But it builds your brand. It builds your reputation. People begin to know what you're about. The more you talk about it, obviously, the more they're going to get on and they're going to be like, yeah, that's that girl that likes to like empower women and make them feel good about themselves and feel beautiful and reminds us every single day that we are valuable. That's what I want to be known for. I don't want to be known as the pharmacy girl. I want to be known as the woman that makes people feel special and beautiful every single day. Is pharmacy a part of that? Pharmacy is the tool. It's 100% the tool, but that's not my brand. Pharmacy is the brand I represent, but my brand is meant to empower women, and I wasn't doing that, and I'm calling myself out, okay? It's been a process, but getting back to the why, and I've been saying over and over again to read this book. Please do, because a lot of this is coming from that, not the words itself, but the concept of getting back to why I even joined this business in the first place and what I wanted out of it. But consistency then again also allows you to learn dedication. When you fail to remain consistent, people begin to wonder like, what's real? If you're not dedicated to this business, if you're not dedicated to building your brand, if you're not dedicated to doing what it takes to become successful, people get to know that. But then they start to wonder, like, if she's lying about being dedicated to this, is she lying about anything else? They begin to really wonder, like, what are you really about? And it makes it incredibly hard to build trust and a reputation, because they start to question, like, do you mean what you say? So consistency allows us to prove that not only are we consistent and showing up every day, but that we mean what we say. We mean it. I'm not just showing up because I love makeup. I'm showing up because there's a larger purpose in all of this. And I want people to see that. I don't want them just to hear me say it 1 or twice a month and then not show up the rest of the time and then wonder like, well, where the heck is she? Why is she saying this and then not actually doing it? Like, say what you mean. Do as you say. Okay. It also allows you to measure your progress when you're consistent. So for an example, when you start a new skincare regimen, when you start a new hair care regimen, you're told to use it consistently for so many days before you're going to see progress, right? It's the same thing. It's the same thing when you're consistent in your business. You're able to consistently see the progress, even if you don't see it right away. You don't see your skin getting better within a day, okay? It could take weeks. It can take months sometimes. But when you're consistent with it in time and pictures and keeping a record, you're able to track that progress. It's important to keep records in your business of where you are, where you want to go, and where you've been. I am not where I was in March, not by any means whatsoever. And Rachel can tell you, when I joined this business, there is no way in heck that I felt confident enough to put on makeup, share it with the world, and tell people how to do it themselves, let alone explain skincare and lead a team and get into the Beauty Mavens group and train there. Oh my goodness, that's the scariest thing I've ever done. But like, there's no way when I joined in March I would have done that. Not a chance. But 10 months later, but my happy birthday post to Pharmacy kind of says it all. They've built my confidence. They've not only allowed me to sit at the table, but they openly invite anyone who wants to sit at their table to sit at the table. They've given us a voice. They give us the products, the opportunity, and everything that we need to change lives. All we got to do is actually freaking do it, right? That's exactly what Pharmacy has done for me. And that's the stuff you need to be sharing with people. What has it done for you? But it gives you something to measure. I can say where I was in March and I can tell you where I am now, and I can measure the change. I might not be leaps and bounds further as far as my percent goes or my title or whatever. But as a person, I've still grown. As a person, I am not who I was back then. And that is measurable. Being consistent allows you to measure your progress, whether it's personal progress, spiritual progress, mental progress, growth in your business, all of that. You're able to measure it. It even allows you to see where you could use improvement tweaks. If you're being inconsistent, it allows you to grow in that area. If you maybe are struggling in skincare, it allows you to study skincare, get to know the skincare. If you struggle with makeup, allows you to know, like, this is what I need to work on. Definitely need to work on lashes. I'm still working on that. But like, I wouldn't know that if I wasn't being consistent, because when you're inconsistent, you're not really doing anything. You maybe show up every once in a while, but you have nothing to really judge yourself by or measure your progress by, because you're in and out, you're hot and cold, you start and stop too often to actually be able to measure where you're going and where you've been and where you are now. Tank, you gotta move. You are messing with my lights. Bye-bye. You're so sweet, but no. Go sit out that window. You know, and then when you are constantly trying something new or changing directions, it's the same thing as being inconsistent. You have to pick a direction and go that direction. If it doesn't work after however long, then by all means, yes, tweak it, change it, whatever. But you can't try something this week, say, oh, that doesn't work, and try something new next week, and try something new the next week, and the next week, and the next week. You know, you need to, if you are really trying to make this work, you need to pick a direction and stay with it. And, you know, that's why they say when you are being consistent and you're working your business every single day, you need to do that every day. Take those action steps, put the posts up, do the lives, take those actions every single day for at least 6 months before you ever make a judgment on whether this business is for you or not for you, and whether what you're doing is working or not. Because I can change what I'm doing tomorrow and see no results for 2 weeks and then quit, but in 4 weeks I might have seen results. And that's what being inconsistent does. It kind of takes away your ability to see what does or doesn't work for you, because you're not consistently doing it. But it prevents you from creating also like that track record of success. I can't say I've been perfectly consistent since the day I joined pharmacy, but I still have been way more consistent than any other business. And I have a track record of, you know, at least personal successes. I have a track record of even percent successes here in pharmacy. I'm still moving up. I'm going slowly, but I'm still moving up, right? I have that track record, have that ability to look back and say, I've been consistent. That in and of itself is huge, because in my past companies, I wasn't. But I can see where in pharmacy I have been. Consistency establishes your authority. You might be the most talented moi on the world, okay? You might be the most talented moi on the planet, and if you're inconsistent, nobody's going to care. You're not going to carry the same authority as if you show up consistently and show people your skills, demonstrate your abilities, show people how to do it themselves. If you're not showing up consistently, they're not going to care who you are and what you know. It's like you could be the greatest scientist on the planet, but if you don't show up, who cares? Einstein showed up every day. People knew him. The only reason people knew who he was is because he worked day in and day out. And despite his obstacles, that man was autistic. Did not stop him from making some of the greatest discoveries known to man in history, okay? So, again, consistency. Stubbornly moving forward, no matter what the circumstances. And then it allows you to maintain your message. When you are consistent, your consistency is going to show as a model for your downline. And it's also going to allow for your customers and your followers and your network to really understand what your message is. What is it that you are trying to accomplish here at Pharmacy? Why are you here? What do you want to accomplish? What is it you're working towards? When they hear that message consistently, because, you know, when I go live, I know I talk about it. I talk about it in posts. I talk about it on lives. I talk about it in random videos I make. When they consistently hear that in your stories, on your YouTube, on your Instagram, on your Facebook, they get to know what your message is. They know what you're about, but they're not going to learn that if you're not being consistent. So those are just some of the reasons consistency is important. That's why it matters. Those are some of the reasons it matters. But how? Okay, I've given you what it is. I've given you why to be. But like, how? This is where it comes down to you, okay? And I could tell you, go post, go live, talk to people. Like, I could tell you all the things, But the reality is, we all run our businesses differently. How I run my business is not how Rachel runs her business. How Rachel runs her business is not how Danny runs her business. How Danny runs her business is not how Christina runs her business. We all have our different, idiosyncrasies. We have our own, is that the right word? I don't know. But like, we have our own things that we do. We all do things differently. We're completely different people. So it makes sense, right? However, what we do is almost just as important as how often we do it and how consistently we do it. It doesn't matter if we do things differently. If I do things differently than Rachel, but I don't show up the way that I should and she does, doesn't matter how she does it. People are still going to see her and they're going to go to her before they come to me because she's the one showing up in her business, right? So your how is so much more deep than the steps that we take. It's so much more deep than that. So the example that I used last week was, we're in January, going into February. By the middle of the month, we start January really strong, right? We all have our resolutions. We all have our things we want to accomplish and do. But then middle of January, they have a whole day dedicated to the day that people quit their resolutions. Middle of January. We passed that by like a week and a half now. So by now, people have stopped doing it, okay? It's the same thing in our business. We start out really strong. We start those months out strong. We have the drive. We want to make it work. But then by mid-month, we're like, I'm kind of over all this hard work. I worked really hard 2 weeks. Let me relax and chill. I'm going to just take a break. It's no big deal, right? But it is. You stopped right there. You stopped. But the newness, with our resolutions, for instance, the newness begins to wear off. We get sick of eating healthy. We get sick of working out. And that's when people quit. And why do they do that? Lack of motivation. When you first start that year, you're super motivated, right? By the time you get halfway through the month, you're not that motivated. By the end of the month, you're like, I'm kind of over it. It's the same thing in our business. You start off really strong. You're super motivated. You really want it to work. And then you get tired. You get sick of having to wake up and go live and do your makeup and look pretty and talk to people and you're just done, right? This is where consistency comes in. How do you get out of their tank? How do you counter the lack of motivation and keep going anyway? How? So, first things first. This is going to be the one we work on next week, okay? Don't take on too much and do not make all of your changes at once. Start with one small change. Start with one small goal and work towards that. And then when you reach it, celebrate it. And then when you're done celebrating, you move on to your next task, your next small goal, okay? You're gonna do this a little at a time. When people start at the beginning of the year trying to lose weight, the biggest mistake they make is they change their diet, their exercise, their sleep, everything all at one time. And then it becomes too much. They get overwhelmed. They lose their motivation because they changed everything that they knew and loved about themselves for the last however many years and decided that they were going to change everything about their life overnight. And it overloads their brains and they're like, nope, I'm done. It's when shutdown happens. When you try and do everything at once, you're going to shut down. So when you're trying to make those changes to become consistent, you're going to start with one small change, one small goal. You're going to meet that goal. And once you meet that goal, and I'm not talking a % goal. I'm not talking about a recruiting goal. I'm talking, get out of there. You are stuck to my lane. Like, he is getting on my nerves. The window is open at the moment. He's driving me nuts. Okay. I'm talking about actions. That small change, that small goal isn't going to be about what you're going to accomplish in your business. It's going to be about how you're going to improve your consistency. It's going to be how you improve the actions you take. That's what I'm talking about. Those goals that we have, the % and the recruiting is important. Yes, big deals. But unless we're taking action and doing the things that are going to get us there, those goals mean nothing. So we're going to focus on those small actions. We're going to focus on those small goals. We're going to celebrate, and then we're going to move on to the next. When you reach a goal and celebrate, you're not going to just stop there and be like, I did something cool, I'm done. No, you're going to stay driven. The reason you're celebrating that goal is to keep you excited for the next thing. Okay? When you celebrate, it gets your excitement level up, right? I celebrated in a huge way. If you saw my video, finishing my apartment yesterday, I was dancing around the apartment. I was screaming. I was like, energy through the roof. And then today I dug down into my business and I worked all day long. I've done nothing but pharmacy today. Why? Because I, one, know that when I was cleaning my house, I was working my business, but I wasn't deep in my business. And I also know that if I stop moving, if I stop doing things now, I ain't ever going to make it to storage in 2 weeks after we get back from wherever we go next week. My husband has time off. So I'm keeping my momentum by, I had this huge goal for my house. I got it done. I made little small goals and I met them every day. And then I finished. But my next goal was to start my February off strong. And that's what I'm doing. So I moved on to the next thing. Starting your month off strong is not a huge goal. It's something you really want, right? It's small actions every single day. So that's what I'm starting with. That's my next goal. Start February off strong. And then middle of February, I plan on going and doing my storage. That's the next small thing. But I want to start strong. So make those small changes and celebrate. The celebration, again, keeps you excited. 2. Here's number 2. This is what we're going to work on in 2 weeks, okay? And you can start on this one anytime because it really ties in very well to what we're going through right now. And I actually asked one of you this question, one of these questions recently, and I can't wait to hear what the answer is. But I want you to answer these 5 questions because these 5 questions are going to be what drives you to keep going as we go through this process, okay? Question number 1, why do you want this business to work? Why do you want it to work? And I want you to think beyond the money. The money is great. We all joined a business because we knew there was an opportunity to make money. There is no question about that, okay? Nobody joins a business because they want to be broke, okay? But what is it that you want to accomplish through this business? Are you trying to build your status as an influencer? Are you trying to impact lives? Are you trying to provide a better life for your family? What is it that drives you each and every day to make this business work? Why do you want pharmacy to work for you? Okay. 2, is your goal concrete and measurable? Is this something you can measure? Is this something that even though you maybe don't reach it right away, you can actually see where you were yesterday, where you are today, and where you're going to be tomorrow? Is it concrete and is it measurable? Okay. What is your plan? You know why you're doing it. You know how to measure it, but like, how are you going to accomplish this? What is it you're going to do to make these plans and goals and dreams work? What are you going to do each and every day? How are you going to show up for your business? What is your game plan? And if you need help with this, I'm here. And again, this is something we're going to be going over in a couple weeks. Next week, we're going to be focusing mainly on the small changes. And I have like a small activity I'm going to have you guys do to help you hone in where to start and where you want to be, okay? Number 4, which kind of falls under plan, right? Number 4, who can support you as you work towards change? Get yourself an accountability partner. Who is it that you can count on to support you as you work towards your goals? My husband is not going to be that person for me. I know that sounds horrible. He supports my business 100%. He supports me in my business 100%. But if I were to say tonight, I need to do this work, but I really kind of want to play video games, he would 100% say, okay, cool, play the video games with me. He understands what it takes to make a business work, but he would rather play video games with me and he's already done his job. He's not going to be that person that's like, nah, you got to work. He's going to be that person that says, you've been working all day, take a break. No. I want someone who I can text to be like, I want to give up right now, but I know I have this one thing that I need to get done. And they're going to come back to me and they're going to say, girl, do it. You got it. You're not too tired. You're not dying. It's not going to kill you. It's not going to harm you in any way to do this. Just get it done, and then you can do whatever you want when you're done. Oh, hi. Why are you half naked? That's a cute shirt, though. Get some pants on. Go get some pants on. And your underwear look wet. You want someone who's going to be like, no, do the work. No, you need to go get dressed. So who... And I don't want it to be just one person. You need a support system around you. Have one really set accountability partner, but make sure you've got people around you. I have friends in other businesses that I check in with occasionally. They check in with me occasionally. If I'm having a day, I can message them, and they will be those people that say, girl, you're rocking it. You're not going to stop rocking it. You're going to go, right? They push me to continue what I've started. And then the last question is, how will you celebrate your victories? Now, when we're talking like weight loss, obviously you don't want to like celebrate with food. Some people might have like a cheat meal or something, but they have a lot of times when we're losing weight, people tell us to keep a journal. And when we hit a certain goal, to celebrate, whether it's a new outfit, getting our nails done, a cool water bottle we've been wanting, a shopping haul with our friends, whatever it is that we celebrate with, we're going to do the same thing for our business. It might not look exactly like that because that's a completely different like goal there. But how are you going to celebrate your wins? Are you going to give yourself a shout out? Are you going to go get coffee with a friend? Are you going to, what is it you're going to do? What is it that you're going to do when you hit that goal? Are you going to take your family on vacation? What is it that you're going to do when you hit that specific goal? So know how you're going to celebrate your victories. Keep a journal. Write these things down. What are your goals? How do you plan on accomplishing them? Who's going to keep you accountable? And how are you going to celebrate? And it all starts with why. Why do you want to meet that goal? Why are you here at pharmacy? What do you want out of pharmacy? And why is it that you are here? Like, it comes down to your why. Again, this book. I'm like, I promise, read that book. So your third thing, you've asked yourself those questions. You've already established you're only going to make a little change at a time. You're going to create a routine. This is where consistency comes in, okay? It takes planning. It takes work. It takes commitment. But what happens is routine, when you set yourself up a routine, you do things at a certain time, on a certain day, every single week, every single month, for however long you're going to do it, and you keep doing it, it becomes a habit. It's a part of you. And it's like brushing your teeth. So you don't wake up in the morning and wonder, oh, maybe I'll brush my teeth today. No, we've been brushing our teeth since we were little. Our parents told us if we didn't brush our teeth would rot and fall out, or whatever our parents told us. So we've been brushing our teeth since the day we could freaking know how to do it. It's something we wake up and we automatically do. We don't think about it. It's the same thing when you create a routine for your business. You want it to become habit. It's not something that you think about. You just do it. Whether you're motivated or not, you do it. I'm not always motivated to brush my teeth, but dude, I do it, okay? It's the same thing. When it's, and then Anthony Robbins says it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives. It's what we do consistently. Those who turn activities into routine don't think about what they're doing anymore. They don't think about doing them anymore. It is automatic. It's automatic. Consistency will create a routine in your life where this is nothing but automatic. Homeschooling my kids is automatic. Taking a day off today was automatic. I love it. Homeschooling my kids is automatic. Me working as soon as they're done with school and I've had lunch, automatic. I just do that on a dime now. It's how I work. I know they finished school. I've eaten my lunch. This is what I have on my schedule for today. And I just do it. I don't think about it anymore. And I'm not always motivated to do it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't get done. And for me, like yesterday, I did not feel like going live. I really didn't want to, but I did. And what ended up happening was I allowed my mind to take over for a little while. I watched part of a season of the show that I'm watching on Hulu. And then I started to really think about it. I'm like, but if I don't do it today, then I definitely have to do it tomorrow. And I'm going to have to make up for it sometime.
And then it's going to be actually twice as much work later. It was more effort for me to not go live yesterday, to not work my business yesterday, than it was to actually work my business. It was more effort not to work my business than it was to work my business. And that's what we want. We want it to become so that it's actually harder for us to not work it than it is for us to actually work. And I'm not talking about becoming a workaholic. I'm talking about completing those tasks daily that need to be done. We want it to become harder to not do than to do. The example I used last week, and now she's home, but was Christina. They were on vacation for 4 weeks in Disney. Would it have been easy for her to take those 4 weeks off and just enjoy her family and not work? Most definitely. Is that what she did? No. Why? Because it was harder for Christina to not do her work. It was harder for Christina to not go live. It was harder for Christina to take 4 weeks off and start over in 4 weeks than it was for Christina to just maintain her business a little bit during the day while they were on vacation and come home and still be rolling like a good car rolling. When you come to a stop, for instance, you're driving a car, you come to a stop, you're completely stopped. Is it easier for you to just continue driving through the green light, or to come to a complete stop at that red light and then have to get your car back up to speed after? It's faster just to keep driving, right? It's the same thing in your business. If she had stopped for 4 weeks and not worked her business, she would have had to start over. She would have had to put in triple the effort. She would have had to do so many things to bring herself back to the point where she was at before she went on vacation. It was actually easier for her to work her business while she was there than to stop and then have to regain momentum when she got back. So number 4. You're going to cultivate your mindset. This is a big one. I feel like this should have been number 1. Cultivate the right mindset. Henry Ford, and you'll hear me quote Ford all the time probably because my husband works for Ford and I hear a lot of Henry Ford quotes a lot. But Henry Ford said, if you think you can do a thing or you think you can't do a thing, you're right. If you think you can do something or you think you can't do something, you're right. You're right. Because the reality is your mind dictates your actions. If you don't think you can make this work, you're not going to. But if you believe deep down in your heart and you say it to yourself and you speak it and you write it down and you drive it home into your mind all the time that you can do this, you're right. You're going to do this. You can do this and you will do this. It kills me because a lot of times the women that I talk to about joining this business don't join this business because they can't run this business, because they can't do it. It's because they say they can't do it. It's because they say this is in their way or that is in their way. It's not because at all that they can't handle it, but I cannot see their potential for them. I can't see their ability for them. I can tell them I believe they can do it, but until they believe that, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's mindset. If you believe you can do something or you believe you can't do something, you're right. Okay? So we need to change our negative thoughts into positive ones. You need to believe in yourself and your ability to follow through. When you believe in yourself and your ability to follow through, you will follow through. When you believe that you're able to wake up in the morning, do the things you need to do around your home, work if you have to, if you work outside the home, and still make this business work, you will. It won't be an issue of, I don't know. It is going to be, you will. If you believe you can do it, you will. I believe that I have a purpose in this world, and I believe that I'm going to make a mark on this world, and pharmacy is going to be the tool that I use to do that. And I 100% believe that. And I know deep down in my heart, that is what's going to happen. And I've actually seen just from last week and me changing gears a little bit and sharing my hoarding experience, where that has actually opened up doors for me and has allowed me to use pharmacy in a way that I had no idea I was going to be able to, because I was too scared to get personal with people. I was too scared to get out of that comfort zone. And that is one area I was failing you guys. I was saying get out of your comfort zone, but I was perfectly fine in mine. Okay? It's exactly what I mean. Like, do as you say and say as you do. Okay?
But create that mindset in yourself. Cultivate that mindset. If you don't believe in yourself right now, that's fine. You know, I didn't join this business believing in myself. I didn't think I had any abilities at all. I was like, it's just going to be another business that I flunk at, but it's only $20. So it's okay. It's risk-free because even if I fail, and even when I fail, I only spent $20. Whoop-de-doo, right? That's what I came into this business thinking. That is what I started this business with in my head. Do you think I did anything in my first few months? No, I invited one friend to join me, and I went through the motions, and I said the things, and some people believed me and a lot of people didn't, and the reason they didn't is because they shouldn't have. Now I can say it. Now I can say this business has given me a confidence I didn't have before. And people can see, they're not just hearing it, they can see that what I'm saying is true. Because a lot of these people knew me before I was with pharmacy. Okay? So cultivate that mindset. We're going to, I want you to really consider writing down affirmations, whether it's in your journal, on your mirror, on sticky notes around your house, wherever the frick you need to have those, that you're going to see them constantly, that you are going to read those, you're going to say those out loud to yourself, you're going to get sick of seeing them to the point where you actually believe it. Because I'm telling every single one of you who's watching this video right now, whether you're watching it live or you're watching the replay, you are capable of anything that you put your mind to. You are so talented. Trust me, I don't talk to anybody anywhere that I don't think has talent in some way, shape, or form. I'm sorry. Like, that's me. I'm not just saying this. You can do this. But it's not me who's going to instill that belief in you. It's you. It's you. I could say this all day long, but until you believe it, it's not going to matter. So get that crap up on the walls everywhere. I don't care who thinks you're a hokey. I don't care who thinks you're so, like, I was told by someone close to me that affirmations and speaking into existence and things like that were wrong. That it was just a whole bunch of like hocus pocus. It is not hocus pocus. It's mindset. It's mindset. What you speak into the world is what you're going to put into the world because it's what you believe. It's what you believe about yourself. You might not believe it at first, but the more you say it, the easier it becomes for your mind to truly believe that that's what's true, right? It's not hocus pocus. It's mindset. Okay. Number 5, you're going to make this whole process easier. Literally, that's number 5. Make it easier. Oh, I'm like wiggling here. You're going to write down your tasks each and every day. Okay. And then you're going to pinpoint your 2 top priorities. You can use an app. You can use a planner. You can use sticky notes. Whatever the heck you want to use. Okay. Me, I have this planner I showed you guys before the new year. And I have this notebook that I'm actually using right now. Okay, every single day, I write down, as you can see, I have Friday and I have Saturday here. Every single day, I write down what it is I'm going to be doing. I lost my page. I write down what it is I'm going to be doing so that when I wake up in the morning, my mind is able to be focused on what it is I need to do that day. I'm able to wrap my head around it. I can remind myself if I have an appointment, school, whatever day we're working on, what I need to get done for work. And then there's the top 2 priorities, whether it's an appointment for my kids or it's something for my business. Those are the 2 things you're going to focus on most. That's not to say you're not going to try and finish the rest. It's to say if you get those 2 things done, and those are your top 2 priorities, then you have accomplished a lot in your day. You've at least gotten the 2 most important things done. The rest will be cake. Generally speaking, the things that we put as our top 2 priorities tend to be the hardest things. If you have not read it, read Eat That Frog. It talks about doing the hardest task first. I actually did my house the opposite of that, and I can tell you that it almost stopped me in my tracks. Do the hardest thing first, okay? But, see, I lost my page. Here we go. There we go. So you're going to make your list at night. That way, you're ready to dive in the next day. As I showed you, like in my notebook, I already have tomorrow written down. I know what I got to do tomorrow, but I'm going to wake up in the morning and I'm going to look at that list and I'm going to be like, okay,
This is what I need to do. If I don't finish something today and I have to add it to tomorrow's list, that's probably what's going to be top priority because it should already be done. But we need to stop being so hard on ourselves when we don't finish our to-do list. This is me. I'm speaking to myself here. I used to make lists miles long, and then I would get mad at myself because I didn't finish it, and I would beat myself up for not being perfect, for not having it all together, for not working hard enough. It's not that you're not working hard enough, it's that your list is a mile long, and we only have so many hours in a day, right? So stop worrying about whether you get everything done. There are going to be days when you get your whole list done. There are going to be days when you get 2 things on your list done. And both days, you are just as capable as you were on the other, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to view your list in the morning so your mindset is right and you're prepared for your day. It allows you to prepare mentally too. If you know what's coming up, your mind's already in that space. I didn't feel like going live yesterday, but I knew based on my list, that was one of the biggest things on my list yesterday. And I ended up doing it because, again, it was harder to not do it than to actually do it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to make a date with your business. If you make a date with your husband, if you make a date with your girlfriend, if you make a date with your boyfriend, if you make a date with your kids, a friend, a family member, do you skip out? Do you stand them up? Or do you meet them for that date? If I say, let's go get coffee at 8 o'clock, do I decide, no, I don't feel like doing it, and then not show up and not text or call or say anything? Would I do that to someone? No, because we value that other person's time. We value that other person, right? So why are we not valuing ourselves and our business in the same way? So make a date with your business. Pick a time, pick a day, pick an hour, pick 2 hours, however long you want, and show up. Meet your business right where you are and work it, okay? Set a time to work daily and do it, okay? When I was with Beachbody, we called this Power Hour. We had a set amount of tasks that we would do, and a lot of them I don't actually do with this business for the most part. There are a few things that are on that list that kind of translated over, but the concept is this. You would show up for that hour, you would have this list of tasks that you would complete, and then you would get them done. You're going to do the same thing with your business, whatever your tasks are, going live, posting, talking to your friends and family or network, getting to know new people, adding new friends, whatever it is that's on your list. And if you need a list, I have a couple made that were really useful to me when I first joined that I can share in the group here. Just let me know. But you're going to go through that list and you're going to get it done. And you're going to show up to that date with your business because your business is just as important to you as anything else, especially if you want this to work the way that you say. If I'm saying I want it to work and I don't show up, I'm showing my business that I'm not committed. If you set a date with your boyfriend and you don't show up, you're showing him that you're not committed to him, and he's going to start questioning whether or not he's important in your life. If you're not showing up to your business, people are going to start questioning whether or not it's important in your life. Obviously, your business doesn't have a mind of its own, but the people around you do, right? So show up for your business, set a time and do it. Number 6, maintain perspective. This is a big one. Change and success take time. Let me repeat that. Change and success take time, okay? They don't happen overnight. 1 week of consistency is not going to make you the queen of consistency. It can take months. It can even take years for some people to really build a habit of consistency. It takes a long time sometimes. But 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month of consistency do not make you consistent. And when I did this training before, someone actually mentioned, it takes 21 days to form a habit. And what I had to remind this person of was, yes, I was with Beachbody. I heard that. We had 21-day fix. It was 21-day fix because it takes 21 days to build a habit. That's why they created that program. Can I tell you a secret? I completed that program. I followed the meal plan. I did the workouts. I didn't miss a day. Do you know what I did on day 22? I ate junk food, stopped working out, and I quit the program. Yeah, I built a habit over 21 days to show up and eat healthy and do the things for me, but it only takes 1 day. 1 day to take a habit and throw it out the window. When you're consistent, it's not like that.
It's not just a habit, it's a routine, it's a way of life, it's part of your life. It's just something you do because you don't think about it anymore. Okay? A habit you have to think about. I have to be honest with you. A habit you have to think about. So maintain that perspective. Keep that in mind, and then maintain your perspective. It's hard work, but with time, it will pay off. Again, with time, it will pay off. Okay? So don't expect to become consistent and see things happening in a week or two. Consider a few months. It's going to take a while. What you do now, you're not probably going to see results for when you're being consistent for a couple months, okay? You're going to start seeing it pay forward as you become more consistent over time, as you can continue to build upon those activities that you're doing, as you continue to grow your network, as you continue to become known and trusted in this forum, in this way, you're going to see the results, and it's going to be worth it every single step you take. Okay. So, I'm almost done. Okay. Step 7, start today. So the saying goes, never put off for tomorrow what you can start today. You know, a lot of times we have this thing where, like, I keep going back to weight loss because it's like the easiest example. When people set that resolution, they say they're going to start at the new year. Sometimes it'll be middle of the year and they're like, I'll start on Monday, or I'll start next month. They always think that that day something magical is going to happen. It's going to be that much easier. Nothing magical happens on January 1st. The only thing that changes is our mindset, right? It's the same thing in our business. Saying you're going to start tomorrow does not mean tomorrow is any easier to start your business. It's just procrastination at this point. Never put off for tomorrow what you can do today. The other example that comes to mind is when I first started this hoarding journal, this hoarding journey where I shared my journey with people. It all started because I was cleaning my room and watching Hoarders at the same time. And every time I wanted to give up, the woman would literally say, and it was almost like she was in the room with me, but it was a TV show. She would say, I know you want to put this off till tomorrow, but you've been putting it off till tomorrow for how many years? Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is today. Yesterday's tomorrow is today. Tomorrow is going to be tomorrow's today. There is no tomorrow. It never comes. So just do it. Just do it. You got this. Okay. If you haven't reached out to your network, if you haven't been posting, if you haven't been going live, if you haven't been creating new content, whatever it is that you need to do to move your business forward, to maintain consistency, do it now. And if it's not something that you can do today, that's fine. Do what you can do today. And then plan what you can't do today, tomorrow. There's a difference between making a plan for tomorrow of the things you cannot accomplish today and just putting off what you can do today till tomorrow. Huge difference. You see this, you do hear the difference, I hope. Do it now, and then what you're going to do is you're going to add it to your schedule. You're going to add it to your schedule tomorrow. You're going to add it to your schedule the next day, the next week, the next month. It's going to become a daily habit. It's going to be something you do consistently, okay? And until it becomes a part of you. Resist procrastination. It's not going to be easier tomorrow. I'm going to tell you, no matter what you tell yourself today, it's not going to be easier tomorrow. I put off cleaning my house for 2 years. I knew the mess was building up. I knew people were giving me books. I knew that it was getting out of control, and I was just hiding things in corners and crevices and under the bed and in my closet and between bookshelves and on the floor and under my couch. I knew I was doing that. Yeah, those are the places. Those are only a few of the places I was hiding things. I knew I was doing that, but I was always like, now I'll just do it tomorrow. It'll be easier tomorrow. But it was not easier. It was in no way easier. I had to clean out, just from my kids' rooms alone, 24 bags of stuff. 24. That's not including the loose items that I had to take to Goodwill. Out of my own room and our books. I carried books down my stairs, and I had to take 30 trips. 30. That's why I joked when I did this journey, if I didn't lose 20 pounds by the time I was done, to knock the fork out of my hand. So start knocking. But like, if I had done it when I knew it needed to be done in the first place, it would have been a whole lot easier than this 14-day process that I just went through to get my house clean. It would have been way easier. There would have been less to remove. There would have been less to go through. It would have been a lot more easy for my kids to keep their rooms clean. One of the things that encouraged me to do that was my kids would clean their room, but it would still look cluttered because they had so many things, and a lot of it they didn't even play with. So what we did is we minimized. We kept what they did play with, and we got rid of everything else. There was no point in keeping a toy truck they hadn't touched in 3 years. There was no point in me keeping baby toys from when Lily was born that she didn't play with now when she's 3. So had I taken care of things as we went along, it would have been easier. It did not make it easier. It's never easier tomorrow. I don't care what you say. It's never easier. No matter what you tell yourself, it's never going to be easier when you put something off till tomorrow that you can do today. It's never going to get easier. Now, I want you to remember, we're closing up now. I know I've been talking a lot for a while now. I want you to remember, consistency is persistence. It's stubbornly and resolutely going forward with actions that you need to take despite any opposition, despite any obstacle, despite any how important or unimportant people think it is, or anything going on in your life. Despite anything going on in your life, it's you stubbornly, resolutely doing those things that you know is going to move your business forward in 2021. If you are stubborn, you can do this. Let me repeat that. If you are a stubborn personality, you can do this. And I can tell you for a fact, I am a stubborn personality, and I know a few other people in this group are as well. And that sometimes gets, when people, what's the word? When people think of stubbornness, they think it's a quality that is negative. But I think in this case, in many cases, and people just don't like it, like people just don't like stubborn people. They don't like stubborn people because stubborn people are hard to move. Stubborn people are in where they are. They're staying in where they are. They have their opinions. You can't change their opinions in one debate. And that's why people think being stubborn is a negative quality. No, being stubborn is a great quality in the right circumstances. When you are working your business and pushing forward, being stubborn is a great quality. When you are standing your ground, it is a great quality. Okay? Don't let anyone ever think that you being stubborn is you being difficult. It is not. It is you knowing what you want out of life and being willing to go forward and push through no matter what anyone says or does to you. Okay? Don't ever let anyone fool you into thinking that being stubborn is bad. So as we move on through this year, I want you to move forward in your business no matter what. Be stubborn. Be that person that people think are being difficult, but in reality, you are just being resolute. Okay? Being stubborn and being resolute are exactly the same thing, but you notice how being resolute doesn't get talked down on. Okay? So move forward in your business no matter what. You guys have this. 2021 is our year. I don't care what you think right now. Like I said, get your mindset right. Okay? Get your mindset right. Remind yourself daily, 2021 is your year. You've got this. You have everything that it takes to make this business work, and Farmasi has given us all of the tools that we need to make this work. You have everything in front of you from this training that you can go back and watch, or if you took notes, like notes on it, whatever. You have that. You have everything you need to make this year the best year yet. You have every single thing within you. The talent, the skills, the stubborn personality, whatever it is that you have everything you need in 2021 to make this business work for you. All you got to do is push forward, be stubborn, be resolute, keep going, be consistent. And I promise you that 2021 is going to reap all of the rewards of these efforts when you do the work, when you show up daily, and when you choose that this year is not just another year. It's your year, and you are going to be consistent, and you are going to show yourself whole world aside. No one cares what they think. You're going to show yourself that you are every bit of the amazing woman that you would tell yourself you are. Because you are, okay? So I believe in you guys. If you need help finding an accountability partner or need notes or anything of that sort from this, just reach out to me and I'll get them to you. My notes are messy, but I might be able to type it out. But I hope this helps. I hope this helps someone. I really do. But that's all I had for you guys. Just go do the things, because I promise you, you have what it takes. All you gotta do is believe in yourself and show up consistently in your business, and you will reap the rewards of all of your hard work. So yeah, that's what I have for you. Again, thanks for joining. Hope this helped someone. And next week we're going to start with step 1, which is make small changes. Yeah, it's don't take on too much and make small changes. Don't make all the changes all at once. And we're going to break it down into a small activity that you can do to start you off in the right direction. Okay, so we're going to start there. We're going to move on. I have no idea how many weeks this is going to be. This is something I came up with today on the fly. Some of my best ideas come on the fly, so I run with them. That's okay. Creative minds, it's good. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I have in my planner. I've already planned next week. Let me see. I have that planned to go up on Tuesday. So I'll be on here on Tuesday to talk about step 1. Okay. So again, Sarah Sampson, beauty influencer, FarmasiUSA, and leader of Team Glitz Mavens. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit, if you're on your phone, the 3 dots at the top so you never miss a video. Click on all notifications. And if you are on laptop, it's the bell. Same thing though. All notifications. What are you doing? Someone's behind me. And if you are joining me over on the replay on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and share this if you'd like to. Obviously you can't share this from the group, but once it's on YouTube, you can share it from there. So yeah, hope this was a good help. I look forward to talking to you guys soon. And again, next week on Tuesday, I have step 1 planned out. We're going to talk about making small changes and not taking it all on at once. So I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. Bye guys.